sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 right here in Memphis, Tennessee, and also our good friends in Brownsville on AM 1520 and FM 95.3. And for you folks out in Jackson, Tennessee, good Saturday morning to y'all on News Talk up there at 101.5. And this is, hard to believe, October the 20th. And for me and Guy Trebo, good morning, Guy.
Good morning.
Good to have Guy in the studio as our webmaster for LR Outdoors. But every October, our good friend Frank Barton gets all of his stuff together, puts it all together, and goes and spends 3 weeks with hundreds of dogs. You know, I asked him if his family was with him this time, and he said, well, do you mean my real-life family or all my dog family, you know?
Yeah.
But Frank is out in Roseburg, Oregon, at an event that I don't know how many of these he's been at, but he's got an official capacity. So let's just talk a little bit with Frank. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. And a very
early morning out there in Oregon, 4 a.m. or so. But anyway, tell our listeners exactly where you are and a little bit about the event.
Okay. Well, I'm in Roseburg, Oregon, and we are conducting the Master National Retriever Hunt Test. It's every year it's the annual retriever hunt test for the best retrievers, the best hunting retrievers in the United States. It's the largest performance event that the American Kennel Club will sponsor, and we move around from across the country. We were in Texas last year. Next year we will be in South Carolina, but this year we're in Roseburg, Oregon. Very pretty country.
Yes.
Place called the Umpqua Valley.
Umpqua Valley. Okay.
Umpqua Valley.
All right.
Wine area, but a lot of livestock, sheep and cattle farming, pretty prominent out here. We've got 689 dogs.
How do you know that? How do you know that, Frank?
I know it because I'm in charge of keeping up with all 689 of them.
He knows all 689.
Pretty much. They come from all over the country, and some of them are amateur handled, and some of them are professionally handled. And they'll come here and compete for the next week. We've been out here a week already setting the test up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And we'll divide the dogs up into 5 different groups, and each group will have a pair of judges to judge them. They'll run a total of 6 different tests.
Okay.
Designed to fully test their suitability as master hunting companions. These are the very best dogs in the country, and a dog that anybody would be happy to be in any type of hunting environment with.
And your capacity, what you are the what? Secretary?
I am the event secretary or the hunt test secretary.
And
so all the entries come into me, and then I divide everybody up into the various flights.
Yeah. Yeah. You got a real life too, don't you, Frank? I mean,
somewhere along the line, yeah. I tell everybody it's just I have a day job, but a lot of it. I've been doing it since 2003.
Really? Okay.
And, I've seen a lot of really, really fine animals, fine dogs, and met some great people. And every year for 2 weeks, this family all comes together. So, we get new people in every year, and then you get the same people that continue to come back. So it's a great event.
And you've got the way this thing moves around. It's a long way to Oregon. Okay, I'm assuming that that distance might curtail your numbers. I don't know. Maybe
when we come out to the West Coast, we normally have the smallest number of dogs. We had well over 800 dogs last year when we were in.
Wow.
We are expecting next year when we go back to the South Carolina area where we were 4 years ago, we're expecting 1,000 dogs.
1,000 dogs. And is that area anywhere near where the Hurricane Florence came in, where you'll have it next year?
Yes. Right. We've got pictures of the grounds that we'll be running, and of course the water everywhere. But,
wow.
It's just, and we 4 years ago, or 3 years ago actually, we were there. We came right behind another hurricane. But,
yeah. So it's just part. It's part of it.
We'll be able to manage that event.
So why do you do this, Frank Bartens?
Well, I love dogs. You know from past experience how much I love duck hunting, and
yes,
probably the biggest thing that I like about duck hunting now is watching
the dogs.
The dogs work, and there's nothing to me better than watching really, really good dogs doing excellent work. And as this week goes along, unfortunately, dogs don't. All these dogs will not successfully finish the event. After each test, the judges decide which dogs they want to continue to see for further testing. Other dogs go home. But by the end of the week, we're looking at the finest dogs here in the United States, and it's really. I just smile big time as I watch these dogs at the end of the week go out and continue to do the test and do what they were bred to do and what they live for.
Well, again, we got Frank Barton on the line. Normally we'll be in the studio with me and Guy Trebo, but he is in Oregon at the Master National Test, and the finest dogs in the United States for this event. And a lot of people say they compare this event with another big event that we have here in the Mid-South, and that's the National Bird Dog Championships. When the best of the bird dogs come, this is just about the same because those dogs are tested to find quail. These dogs are just tested to be tested. And one slip or whatever it might be, but like you say, over these years, you've seen some really championship dogs. I mean, some big names, hadn't you?
I have. We keep up, and that's one of the things that I do as the event secretary. We keep up with the number of times that a dog successfully completes the event. And we've had, there's been 3 dogs that have completed it 9 different times.
9 different times.
And that's there's only 3. There's only been 3 dogs in the history of the event that have completed it 9 times. I've had the pleasure of actually watching all 3 of those dogs.
Oh, really? Okay.
And we don't have anybody. I think we have a couple of dogs that have 6 passes this year. I think there's 1 dog. No, we don't have any dogs with 7. So the most passes that we've got this year is 6, and it's very, very difficult to get multiple passes. We call it the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Any dog that finishes the event at 3 different times will get put into our Hall of Fame, and then we keep adding if you had 4 passes and 5 passes, and we keep up with that. There's not many dogs that have done that, and but 9 is just
wow.
They're just amazing animals.
And you say passes. That means they've passed the test, right? I mean,
Sure. Yeah, the event is unlike the Ames Plantation, the field trial, where they actually pick a winner.
Yeah.
In this event, there's not a winner. Dogs compete against a standard. We know there's a standard that ATC sets and says in order to successfully get a master pass, you have to compete at this level. And so the dogs, it's a pass-fail test for those who remember what it was like in school. You either pass the test.
I remember those, Frank. I remember. It's hard. It's hard to go back because there was a lot of past that we have to talk about there. But hey, buddy, we appreciate you. We're going to try to hook back up with you maybe later in the show as we wrap it up.
Maybe it'll be daylight then.
Yeah, it'll be daylight, and you'll be able to get up and get your sausage and biscuit or something like that. But
we're loading stuff up. The event kicks off today, so maybe when you'll try and call me back, and maybe we'll have gotten kicked off. I can give you a report.
Sounds good. Thanks, Frank. Okay, talk to you in a little while.
All
right, thanks. Our friend Frank Barton. It's a long way to Oregon. Can you imagine what it was like for the wagon trains when they went to Oregon?
A lot more treacherous back then.
A lot more treacherous, and yet Frank has made this thing so many times and everything. So, Guy Trebo sitting in. We're going to take a break, then we're going to talk a little squirrel tail. That's right. You know what I'm talking about, right? And a little fishing, too. Meps and
Mr. Twister.
Mr. Twister, which you've got a package over there with right now.
I stole the package.
I gave it to you.
No.
I gave it to you.
It was not leaving here in your hand.
We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.